Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of WTF. What? The Footy. Couple of Yanks shooting blanks about Australian rules football. I'm thinking maybe I need to define shooting blanks for the people in the back. I don't know. Shooting blanks means we rarely know what we're talking about. We're not Nuffy level, but well, we're kind of around there.
But
Couple of
we're not
Yanks shooting
experts by
blanks.
any stretch.
Yeah, exactly. Couple Yanks shooting blanks about Australian rules football. This is episode 19 for July. What is the date today? 13?
13th.
July 13th, 2026. If you're reading the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, you know that on the right is somewhat retired sports writer Joe Rutter, who continues to put ink to paper, fingers to keyboard, writing about our dear old Pittsburgh Pirates. 3 games above 500 at the All-Star break, everybody. Big news.
Big news here for them.
I'm back, Robert Gregory, on the left. Joe. I was really hoping that you would be able to do another extended countdown this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, one. That's
One.
my countdown.
And not just one. That was kind of a...
Ooh.
I mean, I'm hoping they got it out of their system.
I hope so too.
Let's be honest. They weren't going to run the table, right?
No.
They weren't going to run the table.
Nobody expected that.
They were playing a decent side that we mentioned last week would be stinging after being humbled by my IDs.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened.
They really were. And for those that don't know, Carlton fan here. A little backstory to this, which kind of was a blessing in disguise. I had already committed to doing a freelance gig for my old employer, covering the Pirate game on Saturday. Lo and behold, Friday night, there is a rainless rainout where they called the game after the rain had passed through.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't any more rain the rest of the night, but so they scheduled a doubleheader for Saturday.
A lot of unhappy people about that, by the way.
Very unhappy people.
It was fireworks night, wasn't it?
It was a fireworks night, and they shot off fireworks in the daytime before it was dark, which kind of was silly.
So that wasn't AI. That actually happened.
That actually happened. And
Good Lord.
So Saturday, the first game is now I'm doing 2 games because I committed to doing this. First game was at noon. Well, because I had to get up early and do some other things, something had to give. And it turned out to be that was my 5:30 viewing of the Carlton match.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing in disguise that I did not see this. What was it? 101 to 39 or 1 something to 39, 64.103.
I was going to say, you wait a couple minutes on the ticker there. We can read it off for you.
Yeah. And I DVR'd it, did not watch it. Saw how bad it was, and like you said,
103.39 was the
103.39. Yeah, it's hard to be limited to 39 points in a match. I thought maybe they'd show a little character at the end, but hey, you take the drubbing, you move on. They got Collingwood this week in the rivalry game.
Yeah, huge match for both.
Yeah, very much. And so it was a good thing, I guess. Blessing in disguise. I did not get to watch the match.
D's did not stumble.
No, they did not.
They stay in the top 6 with their win over Richmond. They got North this week, and North let one slip through their fingers again.
Yeah.
So they're stinging a little bit. They've got a little extra incentive this week against my D's. Another team that won is our victory song of the week, Joe.
Yes.
As we get down toward the end of the ones that you've used.
Yeah, and there's nothing memorable about this win. It wasn't like, by all rights, I guess I should have taken Fremantle. But we're trying to use everybody at least once before we do repeat.
I mean, that's the aim, right? We're trying not to repeat.
Yeah, and we were down to 2. Now we're down to 1.
Yeah.
Without further ado, if you want to pull it up on the screen here.
Absolutely. Absolutely here.
The old
Here
St.
they are.
Kilda
The Saints. The Saints.
And you should know this song.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be.
Huh. I think Joe froze.
Does
that's
it remind
very
you of Archie
spirited.
Manning at all?
Well, I
Yes.
mean, they cribbed the whole dang song. So you froze there in the middle, at least
Yes,
from my end.
Yes.
So
I think-
did they have any original lyrics? Like, did they even say St. Kilda in there anywhere?
Yes, they did. They did say St.
Okay.
Kilda. In fact, if you hold on,
Because
I can pick back up where we left off, see if they do it in the second chorus, but they did have St. Kilda.
Oh, when the Saints
very spirited.
oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Okay.
Oh, how I want to be with St. Kilda.
Oh,
When
okay.
the Saints go marching in.
St.
There you
Kilda needed a win against a Port team that needed a win. And St. Kilda comes out on top. And if I'm not mistaken, got themselves back into the top 10.
Yep, they're back in the playoff spot. They had some injuries that kind of weathered, well, they're still dealing with, but back in the playoff spot. Getting that was almost like kind of a play-in type of game, as we talked about. That
Yeah.
at this point in the season, it was a game neither team really could afford to lose, and I
Right.
think that buries Port for the rest of the way. Especially,
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, with Zach
And
Butters.
we talked about that last week when we showed their schedule. They have, a gauntlet for the rest of the season. So, I mean, there were 3 games that they absolutely need to have, and that was one of them. That was one of them. They lose Zach Butters, possibly for the rest of the year. And he's also on his way out, probably, as a free agent.
Yeah.
High ankle sprain. Although apparently he's bound and determined to get back.
For what, though? If you're not going to make the playoffs?
Well, that's exactly. I mean,
if it's a 5 to 6 week injury, why come back for the last game?
Why do that to yourself?
So Port Adelaide has Mitch Georgiades.
Ooh, we got the freezers today.
But they're going to miss Zach Butters for sure.
Yeah. And my fear is if he comes back too early, which I'm no doctor, I'm just saying, and we'll touch on this a little later, comes back too early, like I think maybe Christian Petracca did. Because honestly, there's no other explanation for his lack of production this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can talk about scheme. You can talk about this, what is it now? 7-game losing streak that Gold Coast is on.
Yeah.
Still only 1 game out of the top 10, but their percentage is so bad now because they just keep getting stomped on. I just can't help but think that Petracca was not ready to come back. And I think maybe he aggravated somewhere in, say, like the last 6 weeks. Because he has just been invisible.
Yeah, and that shows you how fragile Gold Coast is. That one player, a big acquisition at that.
Sure.
A team that won a playoff game last year, made the finals for the first time in history. Add him and have fallen so far back and are clinging to hopefully getting into a playoff spot. But I don't even think, like you said, they're 1 game back, but they're behind North, Carlton, GWS, and St. Kilda.
I mean, it seems like they're 10 games back at this point.
The way it is, it seems like they're cooked. And you can't put that all on Christian Petracca. It just shows how they've had a collapse all across the board, really.
Yeah, I think and I don't want to do that, and I feel like we're piling on, and we are going to do a graphic later in the show about Christian Petracca just to show you how his production has fallen off a cliff. But the fact of the matter was, they have a couple goal scorers on that team. They wanted one more, right? One more goal scorer to push them over the edge, and it was supposed to be Christian Petracca.
Yeah.
He had a goal and a minor this past week, but that goal was in garbage time.
Yeah.
So he goes the entire game with a minor, and that is not Christian Petracca footy, right?
No.
That is not what we expected to see.
Yeah.
Well, there's the list. And as you can see, we've just got West Coast remaining. They match up this week with Brisbane.
So we might be repeating.
Did I get that right? Brisbane? Yeah. They are a 44.5 point underdog. I fear, Joe.
We have to get somebody else queued up for the
Well, that's the thing. I fear that we have fallen one team short. Good run, though. Good run.
Maybe Tazzy has a theme song we could throw in, a footy theme song that we could use.
Because what is it? The week after? Not this weekend, but the weekend after. West Coast has Essendon.
Yeah, that's their best chance we're going to get to play that if we get to play it all the rest of the year. Yeah.
Some pretty interesting results this week.
Yeah.
We had Freo not really stomp on Sydney, but kind of make a statement.
Well, yeah, coming back the way they did after being shut out of the first half from a goals perspective.
Well, I don't want to give away the game we're going to play here. You're giving too many clues here.
I am.
Showtime.
But I will move ahead, as we know that they're 74 days till.
Isn't that crazy? We are less than 11 weeks to the grand final. Only 6 more weeks of the regular season. You know what we're doing next week, right, Joe? We're bringing back those schedule pages because there'll only be 5 games left.
Yeah,
and we will see the finishing run for every team.
Yeah,
this week, because there were some crazy games. We're gonna play a little game ourselves.
Are we ready for that?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay.
We're going to play Match the Match. Now, if you know about the AFL's app and their website, they have a graphic display of the score. It's basically a line chart. So I picked 5 games. Let's see if we can guess which game is which.
And the interesting thing about this, the thing that I don't like, well, that's why I guess I didn't major in math. I majored in journalism. You're requiring me to multiply by 6 and then add from the other side. So
I mean, if you want to go that far, but that's what the line is for. The line tells you, who's winning and who's losing.
It tells you who's winning and losing, but you don't.
And
know
relatively by how much.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you got to do the math though.
Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide for crying out loud. Giving yourself the vapors over this. All right, here's the first quarter. Boy, who's that only gets 5 minors in the first?
Yeah, not a good start.
No, horrible start.
And
go to the next one. Look at that. Have you ever seen a team? And I'm not really even asking you. I'm asking anybody that can hear me. Have you ever seen a team at the half have 11 minors and that's it?
Yep. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Go to the next
especially when you find out which team it is.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Next one.
Whoop, they come
Whoa,
back.
that's a little better. Somebody woke up in the third quarter.
Somebody did wake up in the third quarter.
Somebody woke up in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, the fourth term.
Boom.
Look at that.
That
is a 38-point win?
Yeah, that looks like the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum.
Yeah, there should be a Rocky statue at the top.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that's where the statue is anymore, is it?
I'm not sure.
I think they moved it.
They may have moved it.
I don't think it's at the top of the steps anymore. Although people still do the whole Rocky thing.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
You know?
Shall we go?
I would die like a third of the way up.
Yeah. Should we give it
People
away
would be
here?
singing the Rocky theme and like jumping over me to get to the top of the steps. That's how that would work. All right, so what game is this? What look, are you kidding? The top of the ladder had 0-11 at the half?
That is amazing.
It's true.
And it was, it was there for Sydney's taking.
Yeah, it was.
It was really there.
Yeah, it was. And we've been talking about how, okay, what week is it going to be that they wake back up?
Yeah.
Right? Charlie Curnow aside, because he's been fantastic.
Yep.
Although the Rocky steps that you mentioned correlates with Freo putting him on lockdown.
Yeah.
He had 5 goals. He had his 5th goal, 4 minutes into that last term.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sydney doesn't score again for 25 minutes.
Yeah. It was interminable how long they.
And in the meantime, Freo just, stomps on their face. Go to the next slide, and we will see the factoid from this. I put factoids in.
I saw that at the end. That's nice.
Yeah, look at that. 59. Best 4th term in franchise history. Statement. Statement to the number 2 team in the ladder and the rest of the league. Yes, our winning streak is over. No, we're not going away.
Exactly. And that's, a lot of first. It could be a first grand final championship this year. So another first for the Dockers.
They had that hiccup last week. I don't know. I still think they're a freight train.
They really are. And I did not
think they're
see
big
any
boy.
Worthy time mentioned in the 4th quarter. I did go back and watch that 4th quarter of that game. And I mean, they kind of just passed them up and kept going. I don't think there was any need for Worthy time.
Yeah.
To inspire them.
Hey, if you can save Wharfy time for when you really need it,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? Right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's go to the next game.
Okay.
Yeah, here's a what? 18-point spread by the team on the bottom after the first. Go to the second. A little bit of a spread. We're talking, let's see, 25-point lead now.
Yeah.
For that bottom team. Comfortable 4-goal lead. Very comfortable lead after 3. That's what?
Like
30-27?
36, 40 to 67, right? 67-40, isn't that the
67-40, 27-point lead. Yep. See, your math is fine. You're mathing fine today.
I don't even have the calculator.
Mr. Journalist that needs an abacus.
Here we go. Boom.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
More Rocky steps.
Well, definitely.
More Rocky steps. Who's the team at the bottom?
Gee, I wonder who.
Oh, are you kidding? Cats are, they're what, 9th now in the ladder?
They've lost 5 of the last 6 or 6 of the last 7, something like that. After we were ready to, push them to the upper echelon of the league.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the curse we're giving these teams, I think.
And as we'll talk about later, injuries just crushed this game, and it just fell apart. And we know from earlier in the year against Brisbane that GWS can put big quarters together.
They can score points.
Yes.
And all credit to the Giants, because I think it's safe to say we've been less than kind. To Greater Western. But this is a game they had to have.
They did.
And this is a game they didn't think they could get. And to make that kind of rally in the 4th term, you got to be kidding me.
Yep. And now they're up to 11th, and they're back in it. And we weren't sure, what to make of them. And look and see what they did. Yeah, they've won 2 in a row now. So they're slowly getting back into it.
Yeah. And then the factoid is a Geelong factoid.
Oh, let's go back. Whoa.
Oh, what did we do? Holy cow.
A little too fast.
There we go.
Okay.
8-0. They were 8-0.
Yeah, not anymore.
No. I guess that would be 8-1. There's my math. All right, next game.
Yeah, we got a 6-point swing here after one.
This one looked like it was going to get out of hand, but then the bottom team kind of rallies a little bit. They're only down a goal.
Yep. Oh, still close.
Still kind of close.
Yeah, close at the half.
5-point game.
Yeah, third, 67. 57 or 64?
That team at the top several times looks like it wanted to pull away and just couldn't do it. Right? Yep. That's why I love these graphs. I love these graphs. Fourth quarter. Wow. They gacked it away and got it at the end.
Yes, they did.
And who are these masked men? Wow.
Ooh, Collingwood and North.
You noticed on that calendar page the little slogan this week.
Yes.
The Pies won't die.
Pies won't die.
The Pies won't die. They needed that one. They almost gacked it away. They end up winning by, I think, 4?
Mm-hmm.
And North once again.
So close.
Lets a game go. And they can't afford to do this.
No, they can't. And, if they want to be taken seriously, which, hey, they've already surpassed a lot of expectations coming into the year. But, they had a chance there to kind of stop the bleeding and get back on track. And now they're still in that group with 32 points on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be right there. They would be back in the.
Of course they would.
Yeah, they would be back there tied with Geelong, maybe even ahead of them. I don't know the.
Yeah, they'd at least be in the wild card conversation.
Yeah. Yep. And let's see what you got going on here.
The factoid, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So moral victories at this point of the season, I don't think mean much.
No.
But I guess they were competitive. I just thought it was kind of crazy that was the margin of loss against what are expected to be the playoff teams this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do I still don't really know what to make of the ruse, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Match the batch number 4. Pretty close after 1.
Yeah, very close, kind of low scoring.
Yeah, not bad.
Ooh.
Well, not as close after 2.
50-23, I believe.
Yeah. Somebody's pulling away.
Oh.
There's Hans from The Price is Right. Yodel, 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 yodel.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go to YouTube and watch this because you get to see Hans.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post the one that I found.
Mm-hmm.
It's from 2000. I think February of 2000. Bob Barker's still doing the show, right? The guy that's playing the game yodels the song. And so he's so good, they stop playing the song when Hans, the climber here, is going up the hill. I won't tell you how it ends. It's very dramatic and pretty funny.
Ready?
But there's look at this score, by the way.
Yeah,
we got a 9-goal difference. We got enough minors. It's a 10-goal difference. It's a 60-point game.
Yeah.
What has happened?
Ooh.
19-14. Somebody just got trashed.
Yeah. I got an idea who this is, but I want to go to the.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention, yes. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I would not have gotten this correct.
Oh, really?
When I saw the 19-14, I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was Brisbane, actually.
Well, I was going to say, I think Brisbane would have been a good guess because, they've been scoring in bunches.
Yeah.
But no, this is Gold Coast again. Just.
Yep. Stinking it up.
I don't know. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, you score 49
and Hans is at the edge? I don't know. Do we win the cappuccino maker or do we not?
I think he got it. Poor
Go to the
Hans.
factoid. I love this factoid. 0-14.
I mean that
I'm assuming that's games against Port too.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know where they played them last year, but obviously they played them unless they lost. I mean, Gold Coast was decent last year, so
yeah,
they must have played them on the other side of the country. But yeah,
yeah,
wow.
It's crazy.
Not good. Not a good look. Oh, let's move on to the match 5. Oh
no! First, we're gonna do our last little bit of Petracca stuff.
Yes.
Because, like I said, it's almost like piling on now. But look at this graph, and I couldn't resist putting Hans in here. By the way, of course, you know, Price is Right. Price is Right. Bob Barker. It's good stuff. Jeez. Those DNPs. So that asterisk on Richmond is when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He got hurt, in the second quarter of that game, I believe.
Yeah.
Hamstring.
But look at the first 2 weeks. I mean,
do you really complain about 7 goals in 2 games?
No.
I don't think so.
You're flying high and you're happy and you think everything's right. And even when he comes back, he gets 3 against Essendon, which,
he gets 3 against Essendon.
Given Essendon, you and I could probably get 3 against Essendon, but, still. Still,
it's first game back.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give him a little bit of leeway here, right? Yeah. And to be clear, I should also say this, and we know this from footy fans and footy commentary that, goals and minors over there aren't everything, right? They're into disposals, they're into the kicks, they're into the hit outs, right? That is part of a complete game for a footy player. In the spirit of fairness here, Petracca's fantasy scores on the left side of this graph, pretty good. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's not scoring, but he's doing the other things. He's doing intangible things, right? But on the right side, you see those stats start to drop off. And starting with Hawthorn, where he's 0-0, the production is not there. And like I said, last week against Adelaide, his minor, I think, was in the first half. His goal was in garbage time. And you saw how bad they were getting beat.
When you look at
what is up with Christian Petracca? And like I said, I'm no doctor and I don't know any better. I have no inside information on this. Shooting blanks, but would not be a surprise if he did not come back healthy for Essendon, or he aggravated something somewhere 10, 11, 12, 13. And if he aggravates a hamstring, he can play through it. But can he be productive? Apparently not.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his 9 straight games, he's going without multiple goals. And that's,
Isn't that crazy?
That's just not really Christian Petracca. I mean, he's usually a playmaker. And he's not going to be a Coleman winner, but he's usually up there.
And that's the thing. They've got they've got a Coleman guy in Ben King.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I said before, I don't know that they thought they needed him to score goals, but he was going to put them over the edge, right? He was going to make them a top 6 club.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there at 20-12 through 19 weeks. And if you would have told me Christian Petracca would be averaging just over a goal a game with 6 weeks to go, I would have said, we're not talking about Christian Petracca. We can't be.
Well, we can't be. He's got 10 goals after his first 4 games. And that's the same amount he's had in the last 11?
Something is not right. And I realize something is not right with the club in general.
Yeah.
And that's what's being talked about on the socials. They're tongue-in-cheek saying, oh, we've had all these injuries. Oh, no, we haven't. What's wrong with these guys?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, and you look at the performance against Fremantle, two minors, no goals, and you're
Yeah.
going up against the best team in the league, the hottest team in the league. You want
Yeah.
to make a good performance there, and he's just not showing it. And you'd think it has to be injury related, and we'll see what happens after the season if it turns out he needs some kind of minor procedure done, or if he just needs to rest.
There are more than a few teams in the league this year that have a relative amount of stink on them, right?
Mm.
And we can point the finger at Essendon all we want, but they had the rash of injuries. They went through the coaching change. The caretaker situation hasn't been great. These guys have been running out of excuses now for like a month. And they keep getting their face kicked in. And you just look and you're like, why? What is going on here? I don't know. Shooting blanks, but like I said, something is not right with Christian Petracca. That may be an Mr. Obvious thing to say, a Captain Obvious thing to say. And I don't know if it's connected with the ills of the squad itself, but that production is not Christian Petracca production. I mean, he's 30, okay? He's not a youngster anymore, but this is a guy that was counted on to pump it through. It's just not happening.
Yeah, and he's kind of a microcosm for their season. The way they've kind of fallen apart.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the fifth and last game. This is kind of my favorite game. Maybe this is why I made it last. See, look at that first quarter. Got about a goal and a half advantage to the top.
Oh.
Now all of a sudden it swings the other way.
Team on the
The bottom team's got the lead at the half.
Yeah.
Got more of a lead at the half or in the third quarter. And then the team on the top. Are they surging?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
they are surging. Even though the team at the bottom had a lead in the fourth quarter. Like I said, this is my favorite graph, and you're going to see next why.
You ready?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. They're two of the more interesting teams, I think, on the ladder.
Yeah.
No secret, my affinity for West Coast. Pesky. Good for them. If they could keep this core together for a couple years, this is going to be a fun team to watch. And unlike like Richmond and Essendon, they don't go away in these ball games, right?
No,
this is a Western team. They're fighting for a spot. They're now challenging for a top 6, despite everything that's happened this year. They're challenging for a top 6. And forgive the pun. Forgive the pun. They find themselves in a dogfight with West Coast.
Yeah.
Factoid.
That's an interesting factoid.
Yeah. I thought so. 13th in scoring. So if you're number 7 on the ladder, you're playing some defense, apparently.
Yeah.
They were 14th going into this game. They actually moved up a spot.
Well, it just shows you, too. They led the league in scoring last year, but they finished 9th and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's unusual, I would imagine.
So those are my 5 favorite graph games of the week.
I like this.
And all those factoids you can find in the timeline description of the game. Some of them are after the game's over, some of them before the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there for you. They're all there for you, interested viewer. All right, stock watch time, I think. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's move right on to go to stock watch.
This might be a fun stock watch.
Aren't they all fun stock watches?
This might get me called more names this week from a certain fan base.
Yeah, well, let's
I may have gone a little too far with one of the shall I
Stock
say,
things.
graphical representations? Let's see the first one.
Yeah,
This is a
I mean, that's
no-brainer.
appropriate.
This is a
That's a
no-brainer.
no.
I mean, yeah, you guys are bumming this week. Hopefully, though, just for 1 week because it's Collingwood week.
Yeah, it's
You
Collingwood
got
weekend.
don't you have to shift gears like on a dime
Yeah, you
at
do.
this
And
point?
it's the big rivalry game, and everybody's going to be up for it. The place is going to be packed. It's just an exciting game.
Yeah.
I think it's a 5:30 Saturday kickoff. So this week I'll be able to get up early and watch it for sure.
Oh, I was gonna say you're gonna want to watch this one. I think.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to want to watch this one. And
Definitely.
hey, you knew they were going to lose eventually. You just hope it doesn't.
Exactly.
That isn't the start of a big slide to end the year, and they're back to where they're back to 14, 15,
Exactly.
somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
You probably didn't think they were going to lose by 500 points,
No.
but again, atmospheric conditions were right for something like that to happen.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't
But
want to.
I mean, do you care at this point though whether it's a 1-point loss or a 70-point loss? I mean, you do for the percentage. I get that.
Yeah, that's the only reason is the percentage
Yeah.
was they were just getting back to respectability on the percentage. Still weren't.
Yeah.
Still hadn't scored more points than they'd given up. But now this losing by 64 kind of blows them back in any tiebreaker area. Yeah.
Do you think there's fear for Baggers Nation? Do you think? Not, I want to say fear. Do you think there's wonder whether they're still a better team under Josh Frazier or whether they are regressing back to the Voss times?
No, I think people will think that they're playing better, and I think they're much better under Josh Frazier. I think they have more confidence, and a lot of that though has to do with how you bounce back from a bad game. We'll see how they do this week.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Oh,
more emoji madness.
Yep.
And we talked about this a little bit. Geelong, they're falling fast. Not as fast as Gold Coast, but
yeah,
it's a little closer, I think, than you think. They're a wild card team now.
Yeah, and a big reason for it was they lose Jeremy Cameron at the end of the game to a shoulder injury. He already had a bad wing on the other side, so now he's got two. And they had two other guys, Tanner Brun and Jack Henry, finished the game in the hospital as well. So they had three guys they left in the hospital overnight. And Jeremy Cameron being the biggest, being their former Coleman winner, that great goal scorer that might miss very well could miss the rest of the regular season. They might get him back if they make it to the finals, but without him, it's going to be a much more difficult task. And Geelong didn't need that to happen. They were already having enough problems as it was.
Yeah. And then they blow that big lead.
Yeah.
And so, things are not good in Catsland right now.
No, they're not. And
I mean, they were a solid top 6 team not too long ago.
Well, they were. And you look at them, last year, what they did going to the grand final.
Yeah.
And being the favorite team in the grand final.
Yeah.
And how they've fallen this year. Right there with Gold Coast is disappointments of the year. But I don't know if there's as big a disappointment as the team we got coming up here at our third stock watchdown.
Yeah, okay. So maybe I went a little too far here.
I don't think so.
But they got beat by 90 this week. The point spread was what, 60.5? And they didn't cover?
Yeah. And you've got to put some effort into it. I know you're playing Brisbane and everything, but boy, you've just got to, it just looks like they don't have the effort. They don't know what they're doing. They haven't progressed under the caretaker coach. They got guys back from injury where you thought, okay, they can get, maybe get some things going here.
We kind of thought that, maybe with the return of some of these players, it would spark them and they could be a surprise down the stretch. There's no surprise here.
No, not at all.
They're
firmly in wooden spoon land right now.
Oh,
and we thought maybe they have a chance to get out of there, sneak past Richmond. But I'm not seeing it. Just the way they're playing it.
I can't remember their last 6, but there's no way they're winning another game. Not like this.
I don't think they are.
Not like this.
No, not at all. Just, and
I mean, I've pretty much talked myself into the commode right now, but I mean, Essendon fans, talk me out of it. Tell me why the commode is a bad choice. Tell me why this isn't true.
Going back to that one. What? We faded out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, let's head to the good.
Oh, definitely. Are we there? What happened? Let's go to the good. Stock up. Come on. There we go. Your boy, well, my old boy, Charlie Curnow from Sydney.
Because I think it's your old boy.
Carlton could have used him this last week with some of those goals.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
But yeah, he's been a bright spot for Sydney. Brought in, and now he's leading the Coleman race. He's already won. I believe he's won 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, 5 goals this past weekend. 50 now for the season. He passed Ben King.
Yeah, he's kind of raced
to the top of the Coleman list
there, and he's been a bright spot for Sydney, and they're going to need him if they want to make a run to the flag. And Charlie's been holding up his end of the bargain. That's for sure.
I'll say last 3 weeks, 14-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's holding up your end of the bargain pretty good.
Yeah, that's more than Christian Petracca has done lately.
Well, that's not saying much. This Sharpie has done more than Christian Petracca, and it's just sitting here on the table. So as good as Charlie Curnow has been,
another guy.
My suggestion for stock up,
yes,
has been just a little bit better.
And very, very good pick on your part. I'll let you run down the accolades because you're more in tune with this being from your club, but a worthy selection nonetheless.
Now he had 6 goals against Richmond in that victory, and this kind of how I know that the D's have passed that point where their paws are too big for their bodies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're not letting the Richmonds hang around anymore. They're putting their foot down and stomping down. And Van Rooyen, 6 goals this week. He had 5 the week before. Curnow is 14-2 the last 3 weeks. Jacobs 14-3. And he's really picked up the scoring slack. I believe he's got 35 now this year.
Yeah.
He's almost very close now to top 10 in the goal scoring race.
Guy I wasn't expecting to be that high on the list. When you talk about Melbourne and the guys they count on to score goals.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a factor, but I didn't think he'd be this, as much of an impact as he's made lately.
Boy, last 3 weeks, he's been money.
Yeah.
He has been money.
Except for on DraftKings, where you can't bet on the first goal scorer.
You're still sore about that, aren't you? What did I say I was last week? 4 and 5?
Yes, I believe you said 4 and 5.
Yeah, my 12-2 heater is ancient history. I'm 7 and 12?
Oh.
No, 7 and 11.
Yeah.
7 and 11 the last 2 weeks.
Not worth bragging about, but hey.
Thanks a lot, North.
You can always find time to blame it on North.
Well, it's kind of a thing.
Yep.
So why do we mention Chris Fagan?
Because because
they are a bunch of butt kickers right now.
Yeah. He got this team back on track. He always seems to push the right buttons. He never panics. Brisbane's back in the 4th spot. They were in the 4th spot last week, but they've solidified themselves as a top 4 team. They take care of business. I love his demeanor and the way he kind of keeps his cool and everything. And he's just keeping them going right toward, in the final 6, heading toward a playoff spot. And this is the time of year where Brisbane tends to show its stuff. And would anybody be surprised if they're not competing for a third straight championship? I wouldn't be.
Highest scoring team in the last 5 weeks. Won by 90 against the Spooners.
Yeah.
And for those that are uninitiated that think, oh, they're running up the score, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, because the percentage that we talk about is the ratio of points for and points against. So the more points you can score, especially on these bottom feeders, these toilet cleaners like Essendon. See, that'll definitely get me called. That'll definitely get me called a name. To win by 90. You know what? All credit to the Lions. Good for them. Because they're in a race too. They're in a race too. I don't think 2 is spoken for. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are like this. So it's going to be the percentage that hashes things out.
Mm-hmm.
Good on the Lions. And you're right. They were so up and down to being the season. We're like, oh my God, the 2-time premiers. They lost, they lost their first 2. We made it kind of a big deal about that, even though they did it 2 years ago when they won their first grand final. But still, they started 0-2, and they were just kind of up and down, up and down. I'll tell you what, they are as much of a freight train as Freo is right now. There are some good sides in the top 6 of this ladder.
Yeah, they really are.
And any kind of a Brisbane Freo matchup somewhere should be amazing. Again, as long as they stay healthy, as long as everybody stays healthy, should be fantastic. What are you doing over there?
For those on the video side, I disappeared for a second because I realized I had my laptop running on battery, didn't have it plugged in. And I was getting down to energy saver. And I did not want to fade away, so
energy is important.
Yes.
Electricity is important, folks.
It is important. And I realized as we were about halfway through the show, I looked down, I was like, oh
no.
So now we're good to go, though.
All right.
Do we have another where are we at here? We got another. There we go.
We did the result. We'll recap real quick. We talked about Freo. We talked about Collingwood. We talked about North gacking that away. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
St. Kilda getting a big win, and Port's probably done, we think, right?
I would think so.
Kilda's one they needed. They had to have it.
Yeah.
Didn't get it. Greater Western still hanging around. We talked about the next game.
Yes, we did.
Adelaide. We talked about that game, right? Western, the D's, Brisbane, all with easy wins. By the way, I took the 3 biggest dogs this week and went 1-2. So maybe a lesson to me. Sets up round 19. 6 games to go, folks. We are at the 3/4 mark of this regular season. And I know that Thursday night game doesn't look as banger as some of the more recent ones have been. But Geelong St. Kilda, this is a big deal.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, this is, whoever loses this is probably going into the last
I think they got 1 foot in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realize that there's still a month and a half to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, you need to get your points now. You can't be worried about getting your points down the road.
No, and I'm curious to see if this line changes because of these injuries. That they're Geelong favored by 12.5 with St. Kilda. I would expect that to come down a little bit. I like St. Kilda in that situation.
Yeah, these are all the opening lines from DraftKings. I need to put a DraftKings thing on there. Say thank you for DraftKings. But that's a Thursday night game at GHMBA, home of the Cats. We'll see if they can bounce back from their injuries and bounce back from that loss to Greater Western last week. Friday night footy, decent. Swans and Crows.
That's a good matchup.
At the SCG. That's a good game. That's a great Friday night footy game.
Yeah,
12.5 though. I mean, that's got to be home team advantage. A lot of that,
I would
right?
think so. And again, Sydney proving that trying to hang on to that number 2 spot. margins getting a little slippier there with Hawthorn behind them. But
yeah.
And if they want to have
Freo.
any hopes of catching Freo, which I don't think anybody will do now.
I don't think that's going to happen now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that we'd have to see a total collapse of the Dockers, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Especially after that fourth quarter. Yeah, I think so. They get Port this week. You know, they're traveling a little bit. They get Port, but they're 47.5-point favorites.
And Port's
going to be without Zach Butters, with that high ankle sprain. I don't know. 47.5, though, still seems like a lot.
Yeah.
But this is Freo we're talking about. So, go ahead.
If Freo, is held to 11 points again at the half, then I would think your 47's looking pretty comfortable. But
yeah, I would say.
But
although I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they hung 59 on the second best team in the league in one quarter. They seem to me to be a team that can also turn it on.
Yes, they can.
4 games on Saturday. My D's against North in a game the Roos have to have now.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost have to run the table now.
I would think North, the way they're sitting right now, they still have 32, but you've got to win games.
Their percentage is crap, though.
Yeah, they don't have a good percentage, and
yeah,
they're 12 points behind Melbourne. Yeah, they need to win this, and Melbourne needs to win it to keep in the top 6 to avoid that.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're in a little bit of a dogfight too.
Yeah,
like I said, all those teams are bunched together.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be the percentages that weeds things out. Yeah. Does Pies Blues have a name?
I don't know. I'd have to
the rivalry game. Does it have a name?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they're always playing twice a year. I think that's
probably should have done that research. I think maybe.
Yeah. Leave it to the Carlton guy to try to figure that one out. But,
hey, we're trying to be the 4th best footy podcast in the United States.
That's right.
We need to know this stuff. So it's the Pies 6.5-point favorites, by the way.
Yeah, as it should be. I'm a little surprised. Might not be a little more, but the Pies again still. They're they have Jamie Elliott out for the season, and they're kind of rallying around Nick Dacos. So, but they've been playing well. Yeah.
Eagles, Lions, also on Saturday. 44.5 might not be enough. Yeah. I know the Eagles are pesky, but the way the Lions are scoring right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I would think about giving those points.
Hawthorn, 50.5 against Richmond.
Yeah, and we didn't really talk about Hawthorn that much for their effort against Carlton doing what they did, but Hawthorn's still a clear number 3 and playing well again, and they're kind of getting back on track as well.
Yeah. Sunday, the aforementioned Suns, and this has to be a home team advantage to be a 1.5 favorite over Western.
That's the only thing I could think of.
It's got to be, right? Yeah. For as bad as they have been, it's got to be.
That's not much faith in Western either.
Yeah.
Western being the team in the 7th spot, that's not much at all.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't feel like they've gotten any respect from at least the odds makers.
Yeah.
Say in the past, 6 weeks?
No, they really haven't.
Something like that. Essendon, 39.5-point dog against Greater Western at Marvel. And of course, Greater Western needs this one too. One thing I'd like to point out, Joe, before we go to the next slide, we have on Saturday a 5:35 game, a 6:10 game. On Sunday, we've got a 1:15 game, a 2:40 game.
Mm-mm.
Start clutching your pearls, fans, because the games are overlapping. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not a Friday night doubleheader over there that provides so much consternation for the footy fans in Australia. Hey, you've got to make some decisions here, and
oh my goodness,
And that's because really it's FS2 and Fox Soccer Plus over here that show the majority of the games. So actually, for those double headers, you will have both of them being shown here. But I'll be curious to see which one they put on which channel.
Yeah.
If, the regular cable package or the bonus cable package gets the Carlton game. I would like to think that given the rivalry nature of it, that will be on the FS2 feed, but we'll have to see.
Regardless, okay, you're getting, Footy fans down under, you're getting no sympathy from me. I doubt you're getting any sympathy from Joe.
Nope.
About overlapping games. Try to run a league with 32 teams.
Yeah.
See how that works for you.
Well, they're going to go to 19 soon, and they're talking maybe 20 when you're going to have 10 games a week. You can't, unless you really can't do it. I mean, unless you start playing games on Mondays more frequently. But no,
I don't think they know how good of a thing they've got.
I guess maybe it's something they've had all the time, and they're just used to this. But
well, I mean, it's not like we haven't been accused of not knowing how the fixture works. So
it's true. That's why we're the nuffies that we are.
That's right. Well, we're nuffies. I'm something else.
Are we moving on?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Let's move on. Okay, so you might notice another column in the ladder this week. I've added the difference week to week of the percentage. Because at this point, we're getting into the area where the percentage is almost not everything, but it's pretty close. And I wanted to see some of the movement this late in the season of the percentages, and I was surprised by some of this movement. Some of these games weren't blowouts, but there was still a pretty big movement in the percentage. And you look at 4-5, Brisbane and Adelaide, they're both at 44 points.
Oh, they're right there.
They're separated by 0.2 of a percentage. And you're telling me Brisbane shouldn't be beaten up on Essendon by 90?
Yeah.
This is why they're beating up on Essendon by 90.
For the uninitiated. Ahead of Adelaide.
For the uninitiated and for those of us who don't know how fixture works. Anyway, top 6 unchanged this week. That's I'm not sure about this. I want to say that's the first time it's been like that for at least a month.
Yeah, right.
Because you've had 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 8, 5. Geelong was as high as 4. And they're down to 9. They drop another 2 spots. I mean, that loss. I mean, talk about damaging. So they're down to 9 now. They lost almost 2 percentage points. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. That's why scores are important.
It is. And it's, you're Geelong. You got 36. That's good. But you got a bunch of teams at 32 charging behind you. So
yeah,
you got to make it work.
Yeah, so you got 4, 5, and 6 at 44 points. You've got Hawthorn with that tie. So they're at 46.
Yeah.
They got that half game. You've got the wild cards, but you're right. 32 St. Kilda because they've got the percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Greater Western, Carlton, North, 32. Gold Coast. This was mentioned on the socials that they're still only 4 points out of a playoff spot, and they're right. Despite this 7-game losing streak, that's right. But like you pointed out, look who they got to jump over.
They got to jump over.
Look who they got to jump over. And their percentage now at this point isn't great. They lost 5 percentage points getting beat that bad.
And then again, you go down and you look at Port Adelaide. Poor Port Adelaide, still with a winning plus minus.
Yeah.
They've got 24 points. They've got 6 wins.
Boy, they needed that one so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, their back was against the wall to begin with. And then to lose Butters. I mean, that's a shame. That's a shame. I hope they have better luck next year.
I do too, because I like playing their.
But they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose Butters.
Yeah.
If only because are you even getting more steamed at this point with the amount of chatter between teams and players?
Yeah,
I know you are not a fan
that bothers me.
of this so-called tampering.
I heard Chris Fagan this week talk about it in his press conference. I think it's Zach Bailey. They were asking him, what the thoughts are on him being a free agent, and he's like, we hope we have no indication he's not going to be here next year, and he handled it superbly. But it's just I can't believe these players and coaches have to face these questions now. They should not be allowed to talk to anybody until after their season is over. And maybe, they push the wild card period back, extend or the trade period back and the free agency period back and make it longer so these guys have a chance to talk to teams after the season's over, not while. You got players being courted while their seasons are going on, before and after these games. And how do you concentrate on helping your team?
I was going to say, how can that not be a distraction?
Exactly. How do you and if I'm the head coach and I'm trying to get this team to win a championship and I got a top player being courted by all these, I'm like, wait a minute, dude, you got to give it to us first. You got to give your effort to us first, and you push that stuff aside. It's a delicate tightrope these coaches walk because they don't have the authority, I guess, to do this. But if the AFL would put a tampering rule in or an anti tampering rule in, it would go away. But they don't do it.
Not that Chris Fagan needs any more plaudit.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, for him to, walk this tightrope you're talking about and get the Lions back to where, this has got to be top form for the Lions right now, right? I mean, they have scored what? It would be 470, 576, like 620 points the last 5 weeks. That's insane.
Yeah.
And all the while, there's this chatter going on in the background about what your team's going to look like next year. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
Joe, we're almost finished.
Oh, we're almost done.
And it's only been an hour 2.
There you go.
Nick Daco's 3 points this week in the coaches poll.
Yeah.
So that allows Bontempelli to close the gap a little bit. I don't know. Is it enough? There's still 6 weeks, but I mean, is it enough?
I don't see it.
I mean, don't you see Nick having a decent game against the rivals this week, perhaps?
I would. Hey, he single-handedly in the first game of the year, he took over that fourth quarter and just single-handedly beat Carleton, where Carleton had a chance in that game. And when Dacos was done with them, it was, and that I think only hastened Michael Voss's departure, the way he played against him. He just had no answer.
Yeah, still the easy front runner for the Brownlow. Look at number 4.
Mac.
Hello, Maxie. All the way up to 4 now.
Yeah.
Real quiet too. Although every game he plays, I mean, he's getting lauded, right? Every game he plays, I mean, he's stacking up the fantasy points. His disposal rate is high. It's just you don't hear him being talked about like Dacos and Bontempelli. And here he is in the coaches poll, all the way up to number 4.
He's up. He's had an all well-rounded game, and another guy that's gotten back up in there, Latchy Neal of Brisbane, another old timer that's playing really well and helping Brisbane pick it up here. You got some old guns doing it. You got some young guys like Will Ashcroft down there. And the one thing that sticks out too, I followed this a little bit, but Jason Horn-Francis of Port, I think he's facing a suspension.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So
they have a tribunal today or tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. So if he's not going to be around, that doesn't bode well for Port. Already without Zach Butters. But
yeah. It might be too little, too late though for the Power at this point. Captain Cripps reappears.
Captain Cripps still there
into the list. He's kind of been in and out, depending on how many names the league posts per week. But there he is, Captain Cripps. Over to the right, you see a new goal-scoring leader, of course. I think we mentioned this before. Charlie Curnow now at the top. And when you're playing for Gold Coast and you don't score points, you're not going to add to your goal total. I mean, that's, Joe, you were worried about the math earlier. That's pretty easy math.
That is pretty
You
easy
don't
math.
score goals, you're not going to add to your total.
And then you got Logan Morris from Brisbane at 43. Josh Tracy, Freo, he's really come on lately.
Yeah.
Been one of their catalysts. He was key in that fourth quarter of that win over Sydney. Yeah, you could go a lot of ways with like Luke Jackson.
Like I said, they went 25 minutes shutting out the Swans.
Yeah.
And I think they had what? 8-1 in that span or something like that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, completely flipped the script in that game.
Yeah.
Dayco's still leading the disposal race. See Wilkie leading the marks race, score involvements. Dayco's still leading that race, and like I said, as long as he stays healthy, he's got Brownlow written all over him. Finally, right?
Yes, I would think so.
Finally. Joe, you have any final thoughts this week?
I hit you with a doozy last week with the World Cup joke.
No, that was, I'm still, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, and you may have missed this because I think you were talking, was you were saying about the difference between 6 and 7, and I did this. I didn't know if you caught that the whole 6-7 thing. But,
I did miss it, and I still am not going to react to that nonsense.
It's what happens.
Are they even doing it anymore?
Oh yeah,
is that still a thing?
I have grandkids, so yeah, they still do it, but it's still a little bit of a thing.
I mean, I'm not accusing you of being old, even though you are. You're old. I'm old. Yeah. We don't care.
We have some World Cup action this week, which will take place at the MLB break for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So I guess we have that to look forward to. But again, to me, with baseball being on a break, that gives other people a chance to watch footy. Hope they do Thursday mornings. A chance to show it off Thursdays and Fridays. But,
that's right.
That's really the only thought I have. Yourself?
That's right. And those games aren't being folded on top of each other.
Exactly.
They are exclusive games, depending on where Fox Sports wants to show them.
Yes. And we still don't know usually until an hour before they start which channel has it. But,
because they are all about growing the game. Right? Yeah. World Cup this week. Tuesday, Spain and France. Wednesday is England and Argentina. Tuesday, Wednesday does not interfere with the footy schedule. It's perfect.
It is.
And actually, a lot of the Major League Baseball teams I don't think are playing on that Thursday after the All-Star break.
Yeah,
I think most of them are starting back up on Friday. So, who did we say that was? Geelong?
And
Geelong St. Kilda?
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. That's not that early.
No.
It's light outside. You can open your eyes for some footy. You may have to look for it. But once you find it, guarantee you're going to enjoy it.
And hey, especially because Bailey Smith will be playing too. We don't talk about him nearly enough. Our love for Bailey Smith.
And why don't we talk about him nearly enough? You know what? We will talk about him in the playoffs because, well, A, you can't miss him. And B, as Dick Vitale would say, he's a PTPer.
Yeah.
I may not like his antics or his attitude. I shouldn't even say may. I don't like his antics or his attitude.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll readily admit, guy can play.
He can definitely play.
Guy can play. And you know what? They're going to need all the help they can get.
With these injuries, they might
be down
be
the stretch,
to single-handedly get them into the finals if they can hang on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our show for this week. You can find us on the socials at WTF What the Footy almost everywhere. If you're watching us, you're on YouTube at WTF What the Footy. We're on Twitter X, WTF What the Footy. Look for my picks. They're horrible the last 2 weeks. If you want to lose money, if you're looking to lose your hard-earned working man money, follow my picks. We're also on Facebook, WTF What the Footy. Apple and Spotify. It'd be Apple Podcasts, right? Apple Podcasts and Spotify at WTF What the Footy. And our engagement heaven,
Little did we
Instagram.
know. Instagram. WTF
At
What the Footy.
WTF What the Footy. For Joe Rutter, I'm Robert Gregory. See you next time.
Showtime.
Showtime.
I was thinking, should we have mentioned that we did not make the Pittsburgh Tribune Reviews list of new podcasts to watch out for?
Somebody has really heard about that.
I know.
Somebody is really torqued off about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the fact he tweeted us separately about it or texted us.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was, or texted us separately.
Texted us,
yeah. That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. I don't think we're in that place yet.
No. Not
I don't think we were close. We're still kind of getting our feet wet.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point now where we kind of need some guests.
Yeah.
I'm honored and flattered to be asked to be a guest on another show. That's great.
Yeah.
But I want to get some of these people from down under. They need to start explaining to us some things. Why is Gold Coast so bad? What is wrong with Christian Petracca?
Yeah.
And you know what? I bring up his name all the time. If it's not obvious, I was a fan of his last year. And I hate to see him like this. This is not the guy. Well, you know what? This might be the guy doing cooking shows or commercials or whatever it is. But this is not the guy that wore the red and blue for the D's. It's obviously not the guy Gold Coast brought over.
And gave extra year. I think they didn't give him an extra year on a contract too.
I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, and hammies, I don't know. You ever pulled your hammy?
I don't move.
Have you ever like really pulled your hammy? Like torn it pulled?
No.
Where it gets all black and blue in the back of your leg?
Yeah, no, I've never.
I did that once. Playing softball. It took forever to heal because you can't stay off of it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm playing a doctor here. I shouldn't be. This is mere speculation. This is shooting big blanks. But I mean, hammies are rough.
Yep.
And you come back too fast. I mean, I could see if he's aggravated it. And I don't even know that he tells anybody. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that's going to complain about it. But the production's not there. The production's not there. I don't know. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully he busts out like a 5-goal game and we can stop talking about this.
That'd be nice.
It'd be very nice.
Yeah.
Say good night.
Good night.